So this is the rabbit pen. This section is 8 foot by 6 foot. Connected is a rabbit hutch, 6 foot by 4 foot, with a top of 6 foot by 2 foot. I have 2 rabbits, one of which is new. And then I have another one, Misty, which I feel like I have shown you before. The rabbits are found at the back of my garden. There are no pesticides used in my garden. This allows the rabbits to eat whatever they want. It also invites other animals like insects and slugs, which invite other animals like hedgehogs and foxes. The rabbit enclosure itself is entirely fox-proof. It's very important as these guys are sometimes let out all night long. Right now the newer one is locked up just in case there is a fox around. I don't want it getting startled. Misty is separated for the other rabbit right now, as the other one is not spayed yet, and I don't want a fight happening, so they will be gradually introduced. Anyway, let's head back inside and see the reptile room. Alright, so now we're in the room. I have been away for 3 weeks. I went to Florida, so a couple of animals did die whilst I was away, which was not the best. But I felt like I haven't done an update in a while. Things have moved around quite a lot. But first, here is a couple Snapchat videos from fireworks in Disney. Alright, so let's move on to the first animal in the room. In here is my adult male corn snake. He is in a 4 foot by 1 foot enclosure. Allows him enough space to stretch out. He's back there in the dark. It's a simple enclosure with multiple different things to hide in. If it was to focus, my phone does not like the dark. But he's coming. Oh, there he is. See his little nose there. There we go. Moving on, down here, I have a 4 foot by 2 foot enclosure. This has my male bearded dragon buddy. There he is. I also have 2 plated lizards in here, which are probably going to be under here. You ready for this? Alright, so that was my 2 plated lizards and my bearded dragon. Down here is my young Bosque monitor. He is also in a 4 foot by 2 foot. A lot of people seem to say that you can't keep a Bosque monitor inside a 4 foot by 2 foot, and I understand why people think that. They need a really hot heat spot, and if you keep them in a small cage, the whole cage will be that sort of temperature. However, what you do is you get the thermostat, or dimmer even in this case, and the slate keeps the really hot temperature, and that heats up to the 90, 110 degrees sort of thing Fahrenheit, creating a nice heat spot that they need. And the end of the cage doesn't get that hot. I would show you him. He was out earlier. I don't know where he is. He's probably under here. Let's lift this up and see. Oh yeah, there you are. Hello. I can't put it down on you now. Now I'll tell you this. When I got this guy, I was offered whether I should get a Tegu or a boss monitor. Now I know most reptile people will probably instantly go for Tegu, and that's what I originally did. But at the time, I was doing loads of different reptile things, and one of which things I was working around monitor lizards, both a Tegu and a boss monitor. Now, when I go feed the Tegu and mess around with the Tegu, it was like, yeah, every other animal, dealing with that. But when I went to the boss monitor and passed the boss monitor, it got my attention. For no reason, just it's sitting there, got my attention, and I was just blown away by this incredible looking animal. So I thought, I need to get a boss monitor instead of a Tegu. And I changed my mind, and instead of getting a couple £100 worth of Tegu, I got £30 worth of boss monitor, and in my opinion, it was definitely worth it. I love this guy, he's awesome, and I need him to move, or her to move, so I can put the slate back on. Now I promise you, he's not fat. A lot of boss monitors do get obese. This guy, or girl, isn't. She's just puffing up because he's angry. Don't bite me. If they do bite, I try not to do all the hands-on stuff, mainly because boss monitors, I like to see aggression. It's a sign that they are healthy. If they're able to turn around and fight you, they have the energy to do that, even if you're not pestering them too much. But this guy got right back there. He doesn't really care right now. He's just trying to eat up. He's kind of woken up. But I've had this guy for about a couple months now. You did see my 360 feeding video of this guy. I moved too fast there. He thinks I had food. But that's him or her. My awesome looking boss monitor. He's going to get a sweet setup soon when I move. Custom built. Hopefully in a garage or a shed or something. Just a huge enclosure. And depending on the sex, maybe get another one. In fact, definitely get another type of monitor, whether it's going to be a boss or something, depending on the room. I'm getting into my monitors. I'd love to get another monitor, so I have two, not in the same cage of course, as well as something like a water monitor or ornate. I do like those guys. But yep, awesome. Moving over here briefly is my leopard gecko setup. Now, a lot of people seem to not like keeping more than one leopard gecko together. And I understand why people do that. Because they bite, they basically argue and create a hierarchy of who gets the best spots, who gets the humidity highs, who gets the nicest places to hide. As you can see, there's one there walking around. I did feed them not too long ago and spray them down. But whilst I was away, their cage did dry up quite a bit. They do like it quite dry, but no water for a while. They got quite dehydrated. Didn't lose any though, which is good. I have quite a few in here, and as you can see, you can only see two. One's in the hide there, one's there. Now I'm alright with keeping them in this sort of setup, mainly because the amount of hides that I give them. This huge rock area is multiple rocks laid on top of each other, tilted up, so all these rocks, underneath these rocks there is a bit of space for a leopard gecko to squeeze in. It is a natural behaviour, they do that in the wild, they squeeze in the rocks, they find a place and they hide. So that's their natural place to go. I've got hides. There's one there, there's one there, there's also one there, and there's one there, and one there. And they are all dotted about these big hides, Exoterra and all these things, allowing them to hide in natural hides as well. So all in all, I'd say there's at least 10 hides, including the rocks. I have sphagnum moss in a couple hides, as well as laying on the rocks and in between the rocks as well. Help humidity, help them shed when it's, you know, when one's going through a shed. And they do have a light on. This is just an old UV light. I just have it in here to keep the day and night cycle. They don't really come out to bask a lot, but in nature they would come out, stick their feet out, absorb some heat, and then tuck back in to the rocks. And I see them doing that sometimes. In fact, one of their tails is right there. So that's them. I've got multiple leopard geckos in here. Moving on to the next cage. Oh my god, he doesn't have a guard on his light bulb. Oh wait, never mind. It's not plugged in, there's no light there. I just have it in there because the other ones have it, just in case I put something else in there. But here is my royal python, also known as ball pythons. His name's Peanut. I've had him for a long time now, a couple years actually, and he's loving his 4 foot by 2 foot enclosure that I've put him in. I'm using the Zoom Ed bark, I think it's orchid bark. It's grey, sphagnum moss sprinkled around. I spray it down every now and again, keep the humidity up even. I fill up his water dish all the way, so when it goes in there, it moistens all that sphagnum moss around the sides, keeps humidity up again. He is a ball python. They do come from Africa, so you've got to remember they do have some form of humidity and heat. Now his cage is very simple. He has 2 hides, and he does like to go in between hides to thermoregulate. And he's out looking for food right now. There we go. Hello, buddy. Next, I have my marginated tortoise, Anna. She is in... There she is. Hiding away there. What's wrong, girl? Oh, you're asleep. I'm sorry. It's getting a bit late, actually. The lights are about to turn off. They are all on timers. Connected to thermostats and everything. I'll show you that in a bit. But here you can see her meal from this morning. She is a marginated tortoise, quite a young one. She's getting big though. I'm actually working on keeping her legs not splayed. I saw a recent video on Camp Kennan, which sort of made me aware of you know, this problem that I've noticed. I just don't want any hip problems, anything like that, and I am struggling to keep it looking like it's not happening. As you can see, it kind of goes down. There you go. See, but because this substrate, I have a mixture of the sort of dirt substrate you get in bricks and Zoom Ed's cypress mulch. However, what I've done is pile up a load of bricks at the back there and then put dirt there. And I also have an upside down Exoterra water dish there that I've covered over as well. Now this basically means that the tortoise will have to go over hills and climb up things to do certain things and move around, keeping their legs not splayed and straight down on the ground, keeping them exercised and being able to lift up their body. Got a water dish there. It's got loads of green algae and all this horrible stuff. Honestly, not that big of a deal. I need to clean that. It was from the holiday. The person didn't take it out and scrub it, so I need to do that. But you know, it's just a bit of algae. You know, fish tank people, you know what it means. Not much, just doesn't look that great sometimes. That's caused by that light there. That is a UVB and heat bulb. It's Arcadia's. It is for tortoises as well as bearded dragons. It gives off a lot of heat. In fact, so much heat that I have the door open, mainly because if I attach to a thermostat or a dimmer, it will probably turn off if I keep the cage shut. So I just have it on, regulate the temperature under the heat spot itself. Doesn't get too hot. As you can see, I've got sort of flammable material there. all the wood, but you know, it doesn't get hot enough to set on fire or anything like that. There she is. There you go. Very cool tortoise. Alright, these two here are a breeding pair. They produce multiple eggs, multiple clutches, Charlie there. And I'm actually having a trouble keeping them from banging against the glass. I need to put some cardboard or something up against the glass to stop them from walking into it. They do like to bash their heads in, as water dragons do, as well as basilisks. I know they do that. But apart from that, doing great. They love this cage. It's a 4 foot by 2 foot. When I move, they are going to get a bigger cage, of course, custom built. I'm going to get a taller one. However, for now, this will do. To make sure they are keeping healthy and happy, I have multiple logs, water dish, you know, different things buried into the ground, so they have to climb over things instead of just walking from A to B. Helps them use their legs, make sure they don't, you know, get fat and lazy. They also come out every other day. It has posed a couple problems for Blue there. He has broken a leg multiple times. Different legs, I might add. You see that bump there? He broke his leg ages ago and it healed. Kind of wonky-like, but he just has a limp. Vet says it's fine. There's no point breaking a leg again to heal it straight when it's already healed like that. But, you know, other things, water dragons do this all the time. They obviously trip over, break things, fall off. In fact, he could have done it in here. But he's fine. Moving to the fish tanks now. I have one veiled red beta fish there. It needs a tank clean. In this 5-gallon tank, I have snails and this beta fish, a couple java fern, you know, good stuff like that. And then over on this side, we have 14 neon tetras and an angelfish in a 25-gallon tank. And there it is. Excuse the glare. There. Moving down here now, we have my 2 mountain horn dragons, and temporarily I have my 2 turtles in here as well. They're in here temporarily because I've got other things going on, and I want to move them into a larger tank. You know, like a turtle pond inside. That'd be pretty cool. So that's coming. Here is one of the mountain horn dragons. There. The other one's up here. And then I have a musk turtle down there and a map turtle there, a young map turtle. This setup is quite simple. Got a Arcadia bulb there, and then sphagnum moss with gravel underneath. I saw a similar design when I was in Florida. I quite like that, so I've tried to replicate it here for my animals. Over here we have a couple exoterras. In here I have my baby water dragons. Sadly, I found I found one dead one when I came back from holiday, and then shortly after I found another dead one, and I'm also missing another one. So I went from 10 to 7, but these ones are all very healthy still. They're doing very well. You know, I'm not too happy about losing 3. One of them I haven't even found a body, so you know. But there's a couple of them there. They're sharing the Arcadia light bulb, perfectly good for them. So there it is. Under them we have my male leopard gecko on his own down here. See his head there. I just get him out here. Here he is. He's doing very well. He's a big boy. I haven't bred him. Yeah, I tried breeding him to a female, but it just didn't work. They didn't breed. They didn't really do anything, really. No arguments, just nothing. Moving on to my giant African bullfrog. He's getting an upgrade. He's going to get a big cage. It's going to be great for him. Because right now it's in this sort of dark area. He's a bit grumpy. I'm not going to pester him too much, but you can kind of see him there. There he is. And then above him, I have another frog. which is the albino Pac-Man frog, which is there. He's just waiting for food as well. Above him, or her, we have Bindi, my blue tongue skink, and the reason why she's on towels is because her condition. If you've seen the channel before, you know her scales are all damaged and everything. That was from like a burn-like reaction to something. But there she is, and it's healing perfectly fine now, so it's all good. She's doing well. I just keep her on the towels just to make sure it's easier to clean any bits, because she's a very messy eater, aren't you, Bindi? Oh, there she goes. And above her we have Benji, which I'll get him out because it's quite high up. Here is Benji, my other blue tongue skink. He's much younger than Bindi. He's an Indo. He's doing very well. He's very skinny though, like he was when he came in. He does eat though, and he's getting fatter as he goes. He's doing well. He's clawing at my arm. It has. And across from Benji we have another frog, or toad even, if I can open this. He's up here because he kept banging his head against the wooden vivarium, which was much larger. So I put him in here and he doesn't seem to have any problems. It's just a simple cage, loads of substrate, a box with water in it, and then he's in here. This is a Asian river toad, as you can see here. Get me the light. There he is. He's doing well, or she, I'm not entirely sure. I was thinking about getting another one of these, so they exhibit some more behaviour, but we'll have to wait and see if he actually settles down in a larger enclosure, because I can't just have two in there, it's too small. So yeah, that's him. Okay, so the final couple things is my chili rose-haired tarantula, who's in there. I moved her out of an Exoterra because she stopped eating. She started eating in here now. This is what she was in before. And then here I have my flat rock scorpion. She doesn't come out too much. And chances are we won't see her. I don't really want to pull her out, so I'm just going to leave her in here. I do have videos on her though. And the chili rose-haired tarantula as well. Under there we have my tomato frog. False tomato frog, I believe. Even though it was sold to me as a true tomato, but they did sell falses as well. But there, he or she is slowly growing, but is growing. So there you go. And it's Exoterra cage. It's doing quite well here. Maybe if I can brighten the cage up. No, it doesn't work. And then, last but not least, in this rather raggedy looking enclosure, I do get comments on this saying this cage does look dirty. It is the glass, it's the Exoterra. I don't like the Exoterra. As you can see, it's all stained, second hand sort of thing, all creaky and horrible. But in here I do have a carpet python. I'm moving this one out to a 4-foot vivarium very soon, mainly because I don't like this cage. It's not got enough room. I mean, I want to get a UV light on this guy, see how he reacts to that. That'll be quite interesting. He's gonna strike, but there he is there. It's quite dark right now because this has taken all day. So yeah, that's my carpet python. So that is the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to keep up to date with any of the animals within the room that you have seen today, or my life in general, click that subscribe button. And of course, check out my Instagram, link in the description. There you go. Thanks for watching. Bye.